Tell you what, funny little indication to change of government. We have, to people who've got in our phone system, we have their moniker next, and the next person has got underneath their name, National MP. I was just saying to Ben, we have to change that to Minister of Police, because it's a very warm good morning for the first time, I think, since his appointment to Mark Mitchell, the Minister of Police. Minister, a very good morning to you and congratulations.
Good morning, Sean. Thank you, mate. It's good to be back on the show as the Minister of Police.
All right, and you've been busy. And I want to talk about what you've been busy doing. First order of business, it seemed to me, you had a wee chat with the Commissioner of Police, who, justified or not, in the last wee while has been giving a lot of stick for being a bit woke, a bit soft, and a puppet of Labour. It seems you came away from that meeting feeling that he had got the message and that he's your guy and he's the man for the job.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just felt that it was very important to do a reset for, some of the reasons that you just highlighted, bearing in mind that he'd been serving under a Labor government his entire term as Commissioner, and that we've got a very different set of priorities and agenda, and I felt that it was really important to have that reset. And look, he is completely, fully on board, and and I've got every confidence that he is going to, lead our police service and deliver the things that the incoming government wants to see. That's
kind of surprising, and it wasn't your rhetoric, I note, but a lot of rhetoric around Costa. Cuddles Costa, I think, was the nickname he was given. Were you surprised at his support for the new government's policies, or do you think he was misrepresented by people in the run-up to the election?
Oh, that's a really good question. Look, maybe a bit of both of that, Sean, but look, for me, it was just, he's the Commissioner of Police. I respect the office of the Commissioner of Police. He has got a very solid policing background himself. Obviously, he's been a district commander and area commander in tough districts to police. He's been a AOS commander, and in my view, he has completely embraced in terms of where we want to go, back to basics policing model, core policing, and making sure that we can respond to the public when they put their hand up for help.
Okay. I want to talk about a couple of instances, and I know you're in a difficult position because in no way should the Beehive ever interfere in what police do on the ground. That would be really concerning for our democracy. But I'll give you a couple of examples. One just happened yesterday. 12 people arrested at Te Papa. 8 released without charge after what looked like a very, very clearly coordinated attack on a national institution for what were bordering, I would say, on terrorist grounds.
Yeah, I don't know the full details around that. Other than that, in my view, it was a very good police response. They did remove those people quickly. And look, without knowing the detail, I understand that there's been 4 arrests. Maybe those are the 4 that were responsible for the damage. But look, the one thing that I would say that since coming to government, we have seen a much stronger response from police. We saw the headhunters gang-tangi from Auckland down to Foxton, where there was a strong police response, including the Eagle helicopter overhead. The feedback from the people of Foxton was that it was policed very well. And we've seen, obviously, the Te Pāti Māori Party demonstrations, which, by the way, in all fairness to them, they complied and they did exactly what they said.
We've also seen 2 people standing up against anti-Zionism in Auckland during a pro-Palestinian rent-a-mob protest. We've seen a lawyer arrested for holding a piece of paper by the police. And someone arrested for holding an Israeli flag.
I don't know the details on that, but obviously, as a government, our expectations are that people's right to peaceful protest is protected, and people's right to freedom of speech is protected, regardless of what side of the argument they are on. Those freedoms are protected. All right.
How long before the gang patches are banned?
Well, that will be legislation that will come into the House early next year. I would say, once it goes through a select committee process, back into the House and through a final reading, I hope sort of middle of the year next year.
Why don't you pass it under urgency?
Because we've got other priorities in terms of bills that we want to repeal quickly, and we also want to make sure that the...
I thought law and order was a high priority for this government.
Yeah, but we want to make sure that the bills that we campaigned on that we would repeal, that don't require a select committee process, we want to get them done quickly under urgency, bearing in mind we've only got 2 weeks, 2 sitting weeks left, and we want to put our gang legislation bill through a full select committee process, which means that it takes longer, but it means it allows people to have a submission and have their say on the bill.
Well, I think people had a say at the election. Someone's just texted me in, Minister. There were around 100 Patch Black Power members in Whakatane yesterday for hours, blocking the footpath and drinking in public. Not a single police car all day. It's very hard to believe the police will sort this.
Well, I think that the police are going to be a lot more focused on this. That is unacceptable. And the legislation that we're passing is exactly the type of legislation that's going to stop that happening.
Okay. How many ram raids have there been since you become the government? Have ram raids gone down?
I think there has been a slight reduction in ram raids. They are still happening. We have still got aggravated robberies. Of course, one of our big focuses on reducing youth and juvenile crime.